Ayra picked up her pot, filled it, and walked home quietly. She didn't know that in that single moment of anger and courage, she had freed a soul that had waited for kind soul to awaken it. Days passed. One morning, a young man came to Samir's shop. His name was Rayan. He was tall, soft-spoken, with a calm dignity in his eyes. He greeted Samir respectfully. "Sir, I am looking for work. May I help at your shop?" Samir smiled. "I could use an extra hand. Come tomorrow morning." And so, Rayan began to work at the small store. He lifted sacks, arranged shelves, and carried goods from one home to another. Sometimes, he brought deliveries to Samir's house, and that was when he first saw Ayra. She was sweeping the courtyard, her dupatta tied neatly, a strand of hair brushing her cheek. She looked up for a moment, nodded politely, and went back to her chores. Rayan couldn't explain it, but something in that quiet moment stayed with him. As the days went by, he noticed her small kindnesses, giving leftover bread to the sparrows, watering the flowers, despite exhaustion, smiling even after harsh words. He began to help her silently. A few times, he left little things where she could find them: a small box of sweets, a new shawl folded on the bed, fresh fruit in the kitchen. Ayra never knew who left them, but every gift carried warmth. One afternoon, she struggled to lift a heavy water pot from the stove. Her arms shook, and before she could drop it, Rayan stepped forward and caught it. Their hands met. For a brief second, she looked up and saw his eyes. They were gentle, honest, and full of something unspoken. That moment passed quietly, but it lingered, like a secret both hearts carried silently. Meanwhile, Amara began to notice Rayan too. His manners, his humility, his calm strength. She found excuses to visit the shop, getting things she didn't need, smiling shyly, trying to start conversations. Layla noticed this at once. Her voice turned sharp. "Amara, stop this nonsense. He's just a worker. I'll find you a rich husband, not a servant boy." Amara looked away, embarrassed. Days turned into weeks. One afternoon, Layla announced coldly, "I've found a proposal for Ayra, a wealthy man, older but rich. Once she's married off, the house will finally have peace." Samir, quiet for so long, suddenly spoke, with firmness. "No, she's my daughter, not a bargain. I will not sell her for comfort." For a moment, Layla was speechless. That same evening, Rayan came forward, bowing his head respectfully. "If you permit, sir, I wish to ask for Ayra's hand." Layla scoffed. "You? A shop boy?" But Samir looked at Rayan closely, at the steadiness in his eyes, the truth in his words, and nodded slowly. "I see honesty in you, and I trust honesty more than wealth." The decision was made. Layla said nothing, but she was happy that she will finally get rid of Ayra. Their wedding was small, a courtyard decorated with flowers, laughter echoing softly, and a humble meal shared under starlight. Afterward, Rayan took Ayra to her new home. She expected a small, modest place, but as the doors opened, she stood in awe. The house was grand yet peaceful, wide halls filled with sunlight, a courtyard blooming with roses, fountains whispering softly, and curtains swaying gently in the breeze. Ayra turned to him confused. "Where are we? I don't understand." Rayan smiled, a quiet, gentle smile. "I'm not who you think I am," he said softly. "I was the one trapped beneath that banyan tree, the spirit bound by silence until a pure heart freed me. When you spoke with courage, you broke that curse." Ayra's breath caught. "You?" He nodded. "Since that day, I vowed to find you. I chose to live humbly, to see your heart, not your face. And now, I wish to give you the life you deserve." Tears shimmered in Ayra's brown eyes, not from surprise, but from the overwhelming gentleness of it all. That night, the moonlight fell over their garden as they sat quietly together, not saying much, yet feeling everything. Their days were filled with quiet love, not loud, not dramatic, but tender and real. Morning walks through the garden where dew kissed the grass. Afternoons filled with soft laughter in the kitchen, hands brushing by accident. Evenings spent on the rooftop, watching the sky change color as silence turned into conversation. Sometimes Rayan brushed raindrops from her hair. Sometimes she placed a shawl over his shoulders when the wind turned cool. No grand declarations, only small moments that made life feel whole. Years passed like soft pages in a peaceful book. Amara married a wealthy man, but fate turned cruel. An accident left him paralyzed. As his husband can't work, business shut down, and wealth gradually faded away. When Ayra heard the news, she immediately went to see her sister. Without a word of blame, she took Amara's hand and said, "Don't be afraid. I'm here." And she stayed, caring for her sister, comforting her, standing beside her like the world's gentlest light. Soon, Layla and Amara visited Ayra's home for the first time. As they stepped in, both were struck by the calm beauty of the place, the fragrance of flowers, the laughter echoing from the courtyard, and Ayra herself, glowing, serene, her face peaceful and kind. Rayan stood nearby, looking at her with quiet pride. Layla's eyes filled with regret. Amara's with tears. Layla's lips trembled. "I always underestimated you, yet you've won everything in the end." Rayan, seeing them, said softly, "All this peace, this love, it's the fruit of her patience and her gentle heart." Ayra turned toward him, smiling, that same small smile that had once brightened a humble home. In that moment, everything was complete. Years of pain, courage, kindness, and love had come full circle. Her house was rich not in gold, but in warmth, filled with a peace that touched every soul that entered. It was the kind of love story that didn't end. It simply lived on, quietly, in hearts that understood kindness as the purest form of beauty.